Have you ever actually noticed this? Seriously, walk into a stunning temple in Thailand, gaze up at a monumental bronze sculpture in Japan, or look closely at an ancient stone statue from India, and you are going to see it. It's hiding in plain sight. Thousands upon thousands of Buddha statues all around the world share one remarkably consistent, almost universal feature. The Buddha is practically always depicted with unusually long, heavily stretched earlobes. So we're going to dive right into this mystery today. Why is this one specific physical trait preserved across so many wildly different cultures, eras, and artistic styles?
Think about it. For over 2.5 millennia, this remarkable feature has just stared back at us, inspiring literally millions of people across the globe. But what exactly are we looking at here? Was it just some quirky artistic choice that caught on, a rare genetic trait? Or do these elongated ears carry a profound, hidden message that has been speaking to humanity for 2,500 years?
Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're going on an incredible journey back in time to uncover the real secret of the Buddha's long ears and explore how a simple physical reality transformed into a hidden symbol that changed millions of lives.
To truly understand this, our story has to start long before he ever became the Buddha. We're going back to around the 5th century BCE, right in the lush, beautiful foothills of the Himalayas. Here, Prince Siddhartha Gautama was born into the immensely powerful Shakya clan. Now, according to Buddhist tradition, his father went to absolute extremes to protect his son from all worldly suffering. We're talking about a magnificent, highly protective bubble of extraordinary luxury. The young prince was completely surrounded by pristine gardens, beautiful music, and every imaginable comfort. And crucially, this lavish, royal lifestyle included ancient customs that had a very real, very physical impact on his body over many decades.
Specifically, we need to talk about royal ornaments. Now, these were not the lightweight, delicate little earrings we might think of today. Not even close. These were massive, incredibly elaborate pieces crafted from solid gold and dense precious jewels. Day after day, year after year, the constant, immense weight of these heavy earrings literally stretched his earlobes downward. You see, in the historical world Siddhartha inhabited, having long, stretched ears wasn't some deep spiritual statement at all. It was a highly visible, undeniable sign of extreme wealth and royal status. It was basically a giant billboard proving you were rich enough to wear the absolute heaviest gold.
But of course, that perfect illusion of luxury couldn't last forever. Despite his father's intense efforts to keep him sheltered, Siddhartha eventually ventured outside those high palace walls. And when he did, he encountered 4 distinct scenes that completely shattered his worldview. First, he saw an elderly man. Then, a profoundly sick person. Third, a dead body. And finally, a wandering ascetic who appeared just incredibly peaceful amidst it all. These experiences, which became known as the 4 sights, were the ultimate turning point. It hit the young prince like a ton of bricks, a devastating realization that all his immense wealth, his high royal status, and yes, even those heavy gold ornaments, absolutely could not protect him or anyone else from aging, illness, or death.
This jarring realization sparked a desperate, all-consuming search for a deeper truth. One night, under the quiet cover of darkness, Siddhartha made a monumental, life-altering decision. He slipped out of the palace quietly. He took off his fine, luxurious royal robes. He cut off his hair. He walked away from his horse and abandoned literally all of his worldly possessions. And perhaps most crucially for our story today, he took off and left behind those heavy, jeweled earrings. This profound moment, known as the Great Renunciation, carries an incredible emotional weight. He was completely abandoning everything that defined who he was, stepping entirely into the unknown. So the heavy gold earrings disappeared into his past, but the stretched earlobes? Well, they remained. The expensive gold was gone for good, but the physical alteration to his body was permanent. And this is where things get fascinating. Those empty, elongated lobes became this incredibly powerful, empty space motif. They were a permanent, living, physical reminder of the life of extreme luxury and material attachment that he had just courageously renounced. Stripped completely of his royal identity, Siddhartha then spent years as a wandering seeker, diving into intense, grueling practices and deep meditation. This incredible spiritual journey eventually led him to the base of the famous Bodhi tree. And it was right there, sitting quietly, finally free from the heavy burdens and attachments of his past, that he attained enlightenment. He completely transformed from the wealthy Prince Siddhartha into the Buddha, the awakened one.
Now, it's absolutely crucial that we draw a clear line between the historical facts and the beautiful spiritual traditions that blossomed later on. Historically speaking, we know the prince wore heavy gold earrings that physically stretched his earlobes over time as a visible sign of immense wealth. That's the historical evidence. But later on, Buddhist traditions, scriptures, and art historians took this literal physical fact and elevated it into a profound spiritual metaphor. In the spiritual tradition, those long ears evolved to symbolize the ability to listen deeply, the profound transformation from worldly attachment to true wisdom, and a boundless sweeping compassion for the suffering of all living beings.
Because of this, as Buddhism spread like wildfire across massive continents, artists from India to China, Sri Lanka to Japan all faced a major choice in how to depict the Buddha. Artistic styles changed drastically from country to country. Faces looked different, robes changed, postures shifted, but almost universally, they preserved those long ears. They didn't fix them. They deliberately kept this physical trait to symbolize his profound journey from worldly wealth to spiritual awakening. It acts as an immediate visual cue, reminding absolutely anyone who looks at the statue that material riches simply do not and cannot bring lasting peace.
And this brilliantly illustrates just how later Buddhist teachers expanded on this beautiful symbolism. Think about it for a second. Imagine two people having a conversation. There is a massive, profound difference between merely hearing the words someone is saying and truly understanding the complex emotions, the deep fears, the fragile hopes, and the silent pain hidden just beneath those words. According to the tradition, the Buddha was known to listen to kings and farmers, monks and merchants, children and elders, entirely without prejudice. He heard everyone.
Which brings us right to the core concept of deep listening. Over time, those large ears became a symbol, not of his physical appearance, but of this profound spiritual practice. Deep listening is the kind of listening that actually hears the suffering behind the words. It's an active, fiercely compassionate engagement that generates empathy, deep patience, and true wisdom. The artists across the centuries were essentially telling us, look, this is a being who has the immense capacity to truly hear and hold the suffering of the entire world. And all of this leads us to this incredibly powerful thought. True freedom comes not from possessing more, but from letting go of what binds us. Think about those stretched earlobes one more time. They show exactly where heavy, binding, literal ornaments once hung. The heavy baggage is gone now. Only the lesson remains. It is the ultimate physical manifestation of letting go.
So what does a 2,500-year-old physical trait actually mean for us today? Well, our modern life constantly pushes us to seek success through more possessions, higher status, and constant recognition. Let's be honest, those are just our own modern versions of heavy gold earrings. But the Buddha's long ears invite us to pause, take a breath, and apply these ancient themes directly to our lives right now. They encourage us to stop and ask what truly brings us peace, to listen deeply to others before we rush to judge, to value internal wisdom over external wealth, to actively practice compassion every day, and ultimately to let go of the unnecessary attachments weighing us down.
The next time you see a Buddha statue, I really hope you look carefully at its ears. They are so much more than just a stylistic, artistic detail. They tell the incredible story of a prince who literally gave up boundless luxury in exchange for universal truth. They remind us that while the heavy weight of gold might stretch the physical body, it is the daily practice of wisdom and deep, compassionate listening that truly expands the heart and mind. I want to leave you with this one simple question to reflect on as you go about your day. What unnecessary attachments can you let go of today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I hope this changes how you see these incredible ancient works of art forever.